fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. Now...
What's up, guys? Your boy Benny. So we often say that conservatives never create culture, and that's something that we should invest in. And so if we're going to complain about it, we better be able to sing and shout from the rooftops the successes when conservatives do create culture and do a great job at it. Dennis Quaid stars in a brand new Ronald Reagan movie that is out in theaters and getting rave reviews, 98% audience approval on Rotten Tomatoes. Quaid looks great as Ronald Reagan. The new movie, Reagan, starring Dennis Quaid, as the 40th president, scoring big with audiences, got an A on Cinema Score, 98% approval on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, you'll notice here that there is a whopping 20% from the reviewers. And the way that this works is if you're not a paid shill, or if you dare even review something like a Matt Walsh documentary, like nobody will review, What is a Woman? Nobody will review Matt Walsh documentaries because you'll threaten your career if you even dare review something outside of the mainstream, right? Outside of the corporate control of Hollywood. Reagan is an awesome movie. I've heard some really wonderful things about it. I look forward to seeing it. There's a large and really fascinating cast, and they go through some really deep, some like really neat times in American history. So Reagan was the number two movie at the domestic box office after Deadpool and Wolverine on Friday. So there you go, playing particularly well in the Midwest and the South, as to be expected, and not with the reviewer, which is to its credit, actually, not to the critics. So isn't that funny the way that this all works out? It is interesting how it is the inverse with The Acolyte, how the critics give The Acolyte, it's the total photo negative. The critics give The Acolyte 78%, and the people that actually consume it, the customers, the people that matter, right? The critics get sent the DVDs for free. The customers who matter, they get 18. They rate it at 18%. This was as low as 13%. Dennis Quaid's Reagan is the worst movie of the year. Got it? So this is what they're going with. Okay, it's the worst movie of the year because Ronald Reagan was an old meanie head. It's no surprise that the establishment critics are panning Reagan, the film that celebrates the leader who changed their very foundation. Funny how Hollywood, Rotten Tomatoes, and the media align with their reviews after seeing it. I think the American people will have a very different take. Yeah, I wonder if the Reagan movie is good. Check the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Fauci. So this is Fauci. The critics gave it an 86%, and the audience gave it a 2%. You just swap them. Rotten Tomatoes index remains undefeated. The Acolyte versus Reagan. Yeah, that's right. New Reagan movie has a 98% score. Hollywood doesn't exist to produce entertainment. They exist to produce propaganda. Film doesn't fit the mold, and they attempt to destroy it with poor ratings. No, you're not allowed to lionize or turn into icons, members of the public that the left disagrees with. This is just Marxism. You're not okay. Like Kanye isn't allowed to have a free vote. You're not allowed to speak. You're not allowed to make music. You're not allowed to make cinema. You're not allowed to do anything in the entertainment or art space unless you comport fully and totally to the political agenda and activism of the left inside of this psychotic and warped worldview and mind virus. It is actually the most uncreative, like unartistic thing that you can do, which is just be a homogenous gray blob. But this is how you get the Acolyte, right? Here's the trailer for Reagan, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, I hope you consider seeing it.
Welcome to your life.
There's nothing a retired governor can do, but a president, now he can do a thing or two.
I will be frank with you that as a citizen, I would not like to see any political party outlawed on the basis of its ideology, because I still believe, Mr. Chairman, that democracy can handle it.
There's about to be another war right here in Hollywood. The commies on one side, the mob on the other. Hello, I'm Nancy Davis.
Hello, Nancy Davis. I'm Ron Reagan.
What would you say is the issue of our time?
No question about it. Communism and the Soviet Union.
Getting the game.
Running for governor, and I would like your vote.
I've forgotten your name.
Ronnie, remember when we met? You told me that you wanted to make a difference in this world. You know what you have to do.
There you go again. There's nothing a retired governor can do about the Soviets, but a president. Now he can do a thing or two. I am about to start the biggest war of this century, and I'm not going to fire a single shot.
You're gonna blow up 8 years of diplomacy.
Did the president know? And when did he know it?
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wants to rule the world.
Hell yeah, man. Gets the vibes going, right? I love a good documentary. One of my favorite miniseries ever. Maybe my favorite ever. Yeah, it was the John Adams series from HBO. Did you ever watch that? Oh man, it's so good. You know, it's just this sort of like raw and totally unvarnished David McCullough retelling of John Adams's life, and I learned so very much. And it's so cool to watch actual history happening. And it's far better way to spend your time than The Acolyte. If you want to see actual history in the making, Hillbilly Elegy is the story of J.D. Vance. Actually, it's his book, Hillbilly Elegy. J.D. Vance, starring Glenn Close and Amy Adams. Same thing, right? 24%, 81% from the audience. It has always been the election of the critics versus the people. That's exactly right, says Danny Diabina, our executive producer over here. Please go ahead and give Danny a follow. Producer Danny. Rachel Ziegler's Snow White live action trailer has 1,200% more dislikes than likes. So, in case you're wondering how this paradigm cuts, he's got 1 million dislikes. Oof, woof. All right, so don't go see that one. Do go see Reagan, and do support people who love this country that make art and make cinema and make a difference. And it's like telling your own story telling a true story is the most powerful thing you can do. Telling a good story on top of that, man, you're off to the races. Yeah. Can't wait to go see Reagan myself. It's your boy Benny. You'll see some of it on this channel, so you should like, share, and subscribe.